Are we? But I'm trying to go live on Instagram. It's never as easy as I want it to be. There we go! Live! Yay! No, nobody's excited. We are live, you guys!
Oh.
Aren't y'all excited that we're...
I'm waiting for the... We're live. So we are live. And we guess we're doing Instagram because that's always the one that...
Yes, exactly.
Takes a second. So we're just going to go ahead and start it. Hey, for women of FWA. It's on two different laptops.
We're live. Sorry. I didn't know it was going to be that big of a problem. We're only 7 minutes late because of Veronica.
And stuff. She kind of, when she was younger, she really wanted to be ingrained into the company and like go around sales calls and stuff. And now
stay afloat. And then with the tax knowledge that I had, and a lot of times on Facebook, you know, I find myself engaging with, I hate the term because it's a little cliche, but it's just what pops into my head, like fencepreneurs. Those people.
We're live. We're live.
Yes, I only say it like 15 or 20 times. You know, I've been uploading all of our stuff onto womenfwa.com so that you can access our information.
With SWI Wyoming. Casper, to be exact.
Only.
Thank goodness. Could you imagine a couple of me?
No. And especially not a couple of you as a balancing mom.
That you're my best friend. You're my best friend.
Hey, y'all! There's no question. We are live.
Yay!
Yay!
And are we live on Instagram, though? Like, that's always the killer one is Instagram.
It is. And like, I literally had no problems. There was no question. Like, it was amazing.
I want to give a shout out on that intro video. Like, that was definitely something, Susan.
Michaela definitely put her finger in it because she knows like the magic of like production. I don't know. Like I'm over here like click. She's like, no, stop.
Don't touch that. I'll touch
right?
it.
But we got the comment lines open. I got Monica here. I got Veronica here. I'm Susan K. Worley. If you have no idea who I am, I'm sorry. And also you're welcome. It's probably a good thing. Because this is cutting the warning label episode. If you don't know who the warning label is, you're missing out on a little something. She's right below all of us right here. She's the classy with the K, Veronica.
Woo woo. Exactly. So, Veronica,
yes.
Let's go ahead and get right into it because people want to know, right?
Are you sure they want to know? Susan's like, no.
I told you she was going to stop me, right? So
Go ahead.
I'm like, okay. So tell us who Veronica is.
Who's
Veronica? Yeah.
Susan said we only have 30 minutes. Like that's whole onion.
I'm like, yeah, we don't have time to like unwrap that package at all.
All right.
Right?
So I'm originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am the office manager for SWI. I've been here for 7.5 years now. Don't ask me where 7 years has gone because I honestly couldn't tell you. Live in Casper, Wyoming. Office manager over all of our Wyoming locations as well as help with our St. Augustine locations. So a little bit of everything.
It sounds like it. Gosh. Yeah. You're a busy woman, so I'm definitely going to have to go ahead and ask you, how is it that you do your schedule? Right? Time management.
You know, one of the most handy things that I have found throughout the years is the thing they call time blocking. It's really, really, really hard to get into the habit of time blocking But if you have a task that you just cannot get to, mark yourself out for a meeting or an hour or 30 minutes for you to do that task, and make sure that you have the self-discipline to do it. It's and getting into that habit, like I said, Susan shaking her head no, because
I don't have that self-control.
To make yourself have that discipline. But what that means is no text messages, no cell phones, no instant messenger, no Facebook, none of that. And think about it, it's 30 minutes. If you block yourself out 30 minutes to work on a task that you've been putting off for 6 months, you're actually going to be super motivated to get it done. So time blocking is something that I take very, very, very seriously on those tasks.
I have a question. Is time blocking like writing a list and putting a square next to it? Now, as you can see, I didn't complete any tasks today.
That's just a checklist.
Okay.
Time blocking, the best way to explain it is you're setting a meeting with yourself to only work on those tasks. And like I said, you got to have that self-discipline. You're like, 2:00. It's kind of like the Grinch when he's like 6:30 dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. It's the same thing.
And that's why we love you.
Yeah. So, okay. So then what's the best way? So since you have so many roles, right? What's the best way that you unwind after a chaotic day? So I know you have those blocking points, right? But I know you have to have some chaos in your life, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Okay. There's no such thing as not having chaos. It's a matter of your severity of chaos and how you handle it. Sometimes if you would have told me what my level of chaos is now versus my level of chaos 7 years ago, I would have told you there's no way I can do it. Now I'm like, this is a great day. Like, so it's all a matter of perspective. That 15-minute drive home is my time. Sometimes it is my time with no radio on, no music, no cell phone, no nothing. It is complete silence, and it is a matter for me just to breathe. So when I walk in the door, I'm not SWI Veronica. We've talked about that. And sometimes that looks like pulling over on the side of the road, being 3 minutes from home and get there, because I just can't turn it off yet.
Right.
But that's time. My fiance and I work together now. He joined the SWI team.
And we have a really important announcement to make.
Yes.
This is the month of November. It is Epilepsy Awareness Month. We did prepare some announcements in the case that Veronica touched a button and disappeared, and she is back. So I will save the next announcement for the next time she drops off the screen. And welcome back.
It is snowing here, so it is.
Oh yeah. Good excuse. Likely.
So I have found actually that working with James and being able to go home, and we have a time limit that we're allowed to talk about work for 30 minutes.
Really?
When we get home, and then it's off. There's no more work talk. Then it's home talk. And being able to be with each other, but we've given each other that little bit of grace period, so we have work us and personal us.
Wow. I love that. I think that's really awesome. So, a lot of people know that you've been in the fence industry for around 10 years or so, but a lot of people don't know that you came from the construction world.
Yes.
Before this. And how long were you in the construction industry?
My entire life. To be completely honest, my dad owned a excavation and demolition company growing up. I dug my first swimming pool in Las Vegas at 7 years old by myself. So I really grew up in the construction world. Before SWI, I actually was a project manager for a mechanical company, handling HVAC and plumbing. So when you want to talk about a multitude of hats, right now we just talk about fence. We're just talking about one thing. Right. But then you start getting into the mechanical side of it and your submittals of every single valve and every type of pipe. And then you get into the HVAC and the balance and all of that. It was definitely a lot.
Wow. I did not know that about you at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all. So that's really interesting. My gosh. So then what do you miss from that world that you don't have at the fencing world?
I don't. To be completely honest with you. I don't. I mean, I guess there's so many different types of challenges and
Right.
there's so much more variation in that world. But then at the same time, things are just are constantly changing. You don't have a time to perfect or to, really hone in on that. Being a project manager in a mechanical company to handle both sides of it is very, very, very rare. Usually find those that focus in the plumbing side or those that focus in the HVAC side. So handling both is just not, it's kind of an animal in itself. But I don't miss it. It's not the same as the fence world.
Right. Definitely. It's quite different. So
I know when you jumped into the fencing industry, like you kind of took the bull by the horns and like started meeting a lot of people, like started educating people, like recognizing where there were holes in the industry. Like I know your big like baby is that word I hate, lien waivers. And yes, I had to write it down because I purposefully forget it because I don't want to talk about it with you.
Right.
But like everybody in the fence industry knows, like if you want to learn about lien waivers and how they work and how to take care of your company in that manner, like you are the top dog, right? Did you learn that from your construction side and like carry it over and recognize that it needed to be in the fencing industry as well?
Yes. Yeah. So when you're talking about, millions and millions of dollars in a contract is not something that is, I guess, typical in the fence world, right? It's not. Are they out there? Absolutely. Have we seen them? Yes. But in the mechanical world, it's very, very common. And so when you get into commercial billing and you get into these progress billings and making sure that it's a CYA and you're not signing anything that's saying, oh, you don't have to pay me anymore. That is definitely something that when I came over to the fence world, I was like, how do more people not know about this? Or their lien rights against homeowners.
Right.
And each state is different. So it's really, really hard for me to be able to really dig down deep into this, but I can definitely tell you what to research and what the basic terms are, what each one does, what, at what point do you provide what form? Because if you have a client of yours that says, hey, we're going to go ahead and release 50% of this project to you, I need you to sign a lien waiver. You better know which one you're signing because that could be your last payment, but you have a contract saying that you're going to complete the job.
Wow, that's so important. I did not know that.
Yes.
So thank you, Susan. See, this is what we're all about, right? Exactly.
Got your back, girl.
Thank you.
And that comes into, like we've talked about this before on this show with me, is 1099s versus employees. And I know in 2025, we're going to do another one of them because it's just one of those things that through all my years of experience and all my years doing this, I just think it needs to be talked about and people need the additional Cliff Note version to make sure they're protected.
I love that because yes, 1099s and W-2s, that can be a little bit confusing. Yeah. And a lot of them don't know what a 1099, right? What can you do? What can't you do with a 1099 with an employee?
Right. And how about all the new laws that just passed this year? There was a whole new realm of requirements that flew out July 1st and that are scheduled to fly out another revision as far as salary wages, the minimums that is supposed to take into effect January 1st.
Right. So maybe that's something that can go onto our newsletter. So if anybody's interested about getting the newsletter, right?
Absolutely.
So see, that is so important to go ahead and know. And it's so important to have somebody that is so knowledgeable and passionate about it. So when you're talking about this, Veronica, you sound passionate about it. You're like 1099s and W-2s and, so on and so forth. So that is so important.
I think that, I had an opportunity that Josh Glover had me be a part of several years ago about, become an instructor and going over these things. It's a boring ass subject. let's face this, this is not at the top of the list that everybody wants to talk about. But if you give the Cliff Notes version and highlight the things that are important and, you know, you're passionate about it, it makes it just a little less painful.
But if I'm going to listen to a boring topic, I definitely want it from Veronica Richardson and what's his name that you just said?
Josh Glover.
Josh Glover, thank you.
That's my buddy.
I definitely agree. Yeah, she can make it quite colorful, can't she? So, yes.
That's a really nice way to put that, Monica. I love that. It's colorful.
So with so many hats that you wear, though, Veronica, what important lessons has life taught you with all those hats that you have worn?
You know, I think it's a matter of find something that you love. Do something that you love. One of the things that I appreciate about being part of the SWI team is I get to be my true, authentic self every single day. They don't try to water me down. I don't have to put on a mask every day and pretend that I am not the #1 user of curse words in this company. Everybody knows that. Right. You know, and they just really encourage me to be me and have pushed me outside of boundaries and, you know, outside of things that I never thought I could do, like being an instructor. That was not anything ever on my radar. You know, or encourage me to get with Susan on this crazy Women of FWA idea and, you know, just constantly encourage me and, you know, you can do this and you've got that. And it's really kind of opened my eyes just in the beginning part of my life on things that I wish I would have known then and enjoyed what I did for a living and enjoyed those people when in all reality, I was so miserable. Find something that you love to do. You know, we work more than we are home usually. And so when they say, you know, do what you love, that makes your living, it's important.
What if you work from home?
What? You know, I mean, I have the option of working from home. You know, you still got to surround yourself. You still got to do it. I think working from home, there are certain people that can work from home and do it that are very self-driven and self-motivated. And it's very isolating.
It's hard. So I find when I work from home, like during the day, I'm on the phone with all my friends. And at night is when I get like the really good work done, right? Like when there's no distractions, like there's nobody I can call. There's nothing that I can, my brain can like run off to.
And focus. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Veronica, what steps do you take for personal growth and self-improvement? So,
okay. So the next big announcement I have is me and Brian and Brooks are going to be at the Louisiana Life Safety and Security Association convention and trade show. It's going to be here in Metairie, Louisiana. There's a QR code right there. And if you're like Brian and you're scared of QR codes, there's actually a website down there below for you to come and join us. We are going to be doing an education course on making gates safer and obviously, you know, sitting down with the fire marshal and, you know, just talking to people everywhere. And she is back.
She's back. Okay.
Let's try that again.
Okay. So, and I lost my question. So I was too busy trying to find out what awareness is for the month of November. So I just found out it is diabetes. So just in case we need something to go ahead and okay, so what values are fundamental to you and why?
What is what? I'm sorry.
What values are fundamental to you and why?
I'm a very honest, point blank kind of person. And I think that I don't know, it's always served me right. I'm either the type that you either love or you hate. There's nobody out there in the world that's been like, Veronica's all right. So I think just staying genuine to yourself, and your truth and your voice and your strength and your passion.
And meaning what you say and saying what you mean. I find that with you, that's accurate every single time, even when it hurts.
Yes, Susan and I have some of those hard conversations. And by the end of it, she's like, I hate you, but I love you.
Or vice versa. I give you advice too.
Yeah.
No, very true. Very true. Yes.
Okay. And then how do you define success in life?
Happiness.
Happiness.
At the end of the day, it's, you can have all the money in the world and be miserable. You could, I mean, are you happy? Can you sleep at night? Are you proud of who you were and what you accomplished? Are you proud of the steps that you're taking to new things, to, pave the way for somebody else that's coming behind you? We all know that, being a woman in a male dominant industry is not always easy. Is it my passion? Is it where I belong? 1000%. But I want to make it more of a voice and more out there for more women where it's not so intimidating. Was it intimidating for me? No, I was born and raised into this, but I want it to just become a much more open thing. And so I think that success is knowing at the end of the day, I did my best. I'm doing what I absolutely love. And I know that I was my true authentic self every single day.
Nice. And that's always good, right? To be yourself. Definitely. And that's how people accept you. That's how you want people to accept you. So that way you don't have to, when we're talking about who you are at work and who you are in person, right?
Yeah.
That goes right into that. So let's go ahead and change the subject. Let me change the subject really quick. Okay.
Okay.
So who is your mentor and who do you look up to? Who helped shape Veronica?
I have
That's interesting. We were talking about this today.
I have to give it out there. Josh Glover is a big one. Mark Olson. I mean, obviously, and Alan, they are huge for me. They have been huge supporters and just embody that, be yourself and you've got this and keep pushing and you can do it. And Ryan Sloop is another one, which I'm sure a lot of people don't hear that name when it comes to the mentor list. But I definitely have to give it to Ryan. He's one of those that he absolutely loves what he does and he has a good time every day and he laughs. And, does he have bad days? Absolutely. But at the end of it, he loves what he does. And that group, they're the ones I call. If I'm having a bad day, they're the ones I call. They're the ones that, if I'm struggling or I just feel like I can't anymore, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm burnt out. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I call one of them and within 30 minutes, they are all over it. And I'm laughing and I'm giggling. Like, was I really going to throw in the towel? But that group is probably up there at the top of the list. Matt Schaefer's another one. And surrounding yourself with people that are so passionate and so knowledgeable and so involved has been super great for me.
That's something we were talking about when we got together in regards to our meeting about partnerships, right? How important they are, and about making sure that you're rubbing elbows with those people that are helping you grow and give you opportunities, right? To be yourself and also to ask questions. So
yeah, it's, Mark says it, and I've really learned to live by it, is be the dumbest one at the table. If you're not the dumbest one at your table, you need to get up and you need to move tables, because that is where you're going to get the knowledge and that's where you're going to get the growth. And that's one of the things that I really love about this Women of FWA group is I'm the dumbest one at the table, and I will suck it up and soak up this knowledge.
She's real dumb, you guys. Let me tell you how dumb she is.
But it's surrounding yourself with people that don't have the same knowledge, the same, like this is my niche, or this is, what I am, an expert. And I hate to say that word because nobody is an expert on anything. I don't care what you say. But, we've surrounded ourselves with a variety where the knowledge is shared. It's not one person. Everybody's looking to one person. And so really like that's what it's about.
You're right. Exactly. So everybody learns something new every single day, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay. So another question.
Okay.
What insecurities, if any, are you willing to share with us?
Of course there's insecurities. There's definitely times. I just texted this to Susan last week, is one, I know I'm a lot. that is not an insecurity. That is just a fact. I am a lot. There's a lot of people out there that just don't know how to take me. And that's okay. But when I get super driven on a goal or on an idea, I do question myself. Is this too much? Is this out of reach? Am I the right person to lead or to start this path, to cut this way into something different, you know? And there is a lot, you do question yourself. There's a lot of insecurities.
Yeah. But you know what? You can't tell, because usually when you go ahead and do something, it's not like, hey, I wonder if Veronica thinks like she, you know, is kind of questioning herself. No, she just goes full speed, right? She's got passion behind it. So you can definitely tell. You can't even tell that you have no insecurities whatsoever.
Well,
you go for the goal. So
I do have one more question for you, because it's clear that you've been like kind of in the construction, home services, like male dominated industry, like your whole life, right? Like that's basically what we just discovered today. Is there anything you've not seen? Like, is there anything that surprises you ever?
No, it doesn't. I have experienced some pretty wild things on this wonderful ride. You're asking this because we had this conversation this morning.
So then now we want to know what the conversation is.
I mean, this is probably not something, especially to contractors across the nation, where you've dealt with people using the restroom in your customer's, you know, yard.
And she don't mean number one.
That was not an SWI team member, but I was a part of all of that. So just so you know, I've also dug up dead bodies, you guys. I've dug up dead bodies in Vegas. I did the cemetery expansion at the end of Sunset Boulevard, right there by the airport that everybody flies into. Sure did. Dug up a body that was in the ground 5 years and one that was in the ground 10 years. So fun fact. So have I seen some stuff? Am I ever surprised? No, I'm not.
I love that.
Well, that discontinues my questions. I mean, right?
I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
No, but who can go ahead and top a dead body? I mean, I
had an opportunity, you guys, and I'm
just, oh my God, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God.
You know, sometimes the saying "curiosity kills the cat," and it's very much one of those. And I'll tell you, I learned some really cool things on an opportunity. I actually operated, you know, a D9 dozer. So if anybody, you know, knows about heavy equipment, you know, that's not a little piece of equipment.
And yes,
while we're sitting here chilling, we got a lot of people in the comments, and I just want to thank them for showing up. Shane Catton, Michaela, Heather King, Mary Cobb, SWI Sales. That's pretty cool. Evan Gardner, that's my homie down here. Women of FWA, Jeff Graff, Matt Warner, and Yadira Verederikson, the man, the myth, the legend over here. So, oh, she's back. Let's go ahead and start closing her out, because clearly she can't manage this.
We told her not to breathe, right? So that way she wouldn't go ahead and. So, okay, sorry, you were saying, Veronica?
It's put yourself in uncomfortable situations, I guess, is my number one thing that I wish I could push to everybody. Take the opportunity to learn something new. It might not be digging up a dead body, but you know.
Thank you.
Just put yourself in the uncomfortable spots and keep your head held high. If you're passionate about something, if you know this is something you want to know or something you want to learn or something that you know you want to share with the world, make sure put your crown on. Doesn't have to be straight. Keep your head up, and keep pushing. Put yourself in uncomfortable spots, because that's where you're going to grow the most.
Amen.
Yes,
I love that. I think that's like the most beautiful spot for us to wrap up on.
Yes, that was a definitely perfect closing.
Yes. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We're good to go.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to get more clips for like my videos.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
Okay, bye everybody. We'll be back next week.
Yes. Thank you.